The Sigma male, a figure of mystery, independence, and quiet strength. Often romanticized for their aloof nature and self-reliance, they stand apart from the societal hierarchy, forging their own path. But this independence, this detachment, can harbor a darker side. Today we delve into the lesser-known, darker traits of Sigma males, the traits that lurk in the shadows, often unnoticed, but capable of influencing their actions and relationships in profound ways. This exploration is not about condemnation, but about understanding. Sigma males, for all their strengths, often struggle with empathy. Their inherent detachment from the social fabric can lead to a diminished capacity to understand and share the feelings of others. This emotional distance isn't born out of malice, but rather a consequence of their self-imposed isolation. It's a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from the perceived chaos and unpredictability of the social world. However, this lack of empathy can create a gulf in their relationships, leaving others feeling unseen and unheard. Consider the stoic warrior, hardened by battles fought alone. He stands tall, a shield against the storm, but his very strength becomes a barrier to connection. He observes the world from a distance, analyzing, strategizing, but rarely truly engaging with the emotional undercurrents that drive human interaction. This emotional detachment can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and a sense of profound isolation, both for the Sigma male and those who seek to connect with him. The Sigma's path is one of self-reliance, of carving one's own destiny. This necessitates a certain emotional hardening, a steely resolve that can sometimes come across as indifference. They value logic, reason, and personal freedom above all else. And emotional expression can be perceived as a weakness, a vulnerability they are reluctant to embrace. This creates a paradox. The Sigma seeks freedom, but in his pursuit of autonomy, he risks becoming a prisoner of his own emotional detachment. Understanding this lack of empathy is not about excusing hurtful behavior, but rather about recognizing its origins. It is about acknowledging the challenges faced by those who walk the Sigma path and fostering a greater understanding of the complexities of human connection. The Sigma, like all of us, is capable of growth, of learning to bridge the chasm of empathy and forge more meaningful, fulfilling relationships. The Sigma male, with his keen intellect and understanding of social dynamics, often possesses a natural aptitude for manipulation. This isn't necessarily a conscious, malicious intent, but rather a byproduct of their strategic mindset and desire for control. They see the world as a chessboard, constantly analyzing, planning, and maneuvering to achieve their desired outcomes. This can manifest in subtle ways, influencing conversations, shaping perceptions, and steering situations to their advantage. Their independence and self-reliance make them less susceptible to conventional forms of social pressure. This, combined with their ability to read people and situations, gives them a certain leverage in social interactions. They can anticipate reactions, exploit weaknesses, and subtly guide others towards their desired outcome. This manipulative tendency is often masked by their aloof exterior, making it difficult to detect and counter. The danger lies in the potential for this manipulation to become a crutch, a way of avoiding genuine connection and vulnerability. The Sigma, in his quest for control, risks sacrificing authentic relationships for strategic victories. This can lead to a cycle of distrust and resentment, as others become aware of the subtle strings being pulled. It's crucial to recognize that this manipulative tendency is not an inherent flaw, but rather a tool that can be used for good or ill. The Sigma male, with his capacity for independent thought and action, has the potential to be a powerful force for positive change. However, this requires a conscious effort to wield their manipulative abilities responsibly, prioritizing ethical considerations and genuine connection over personal gain. The Sigma male is often characterized by his isolationist behavior. He is a lone wolf, comfortable in his own company, and often wary of the complexities and demands of social interaction. This self-imposed isolation is not simply a matter of introversion, but rather a deliberate choice, a strategic retreat from a world they perceive as chaotic and unpredictable. They seek solitude as a source of strength, a sanctuary where they can recharge, reflect, and maintain their independence. This isolation, however, can become a double-edged sword. While it provides a sense of control and autonomy, it also limits their exposure to diverse perspectives and experiences. The Sigma, in his retreat from the world, risks becoming entrenched in his own worldview, potentially missing out on opportunities for growth, connection, and understanding. This isolation can also lead to a diminished capacity for empathy, as their distance from others makes it harder to understand and share their emotional experiences. The Fortress of Solitude, while offering protection and solace, can also become a prison of the Sigma male's own making. It is in these moments of isolation that the darker aspects of their nature can fester, unchecked by the moderating influence of social connection. The challenge for the Sigma male is to find a balance between their need for solitude and the importance of social connection. It's about recognizing the value of both independence and interdependence, of understanding that true strength lies not in isolation, but in the ability to connect with others while maintaining a sense of self. The Sigma male prides himself on his self-reliance, his ability to navigate the world without depending on others. This independence is a source of strength, allowing them to forge their own path and remain unburdened by the expectations of others. However, this excessive self-reliance can become a barrier to intimacy, preventing them from forming deep, meaningful relationships. The Sigma, in his quest for autonomy, often avoids situations where he might need to rely on others. This can manifest as a reluctance to ask for help, a tendency to push away those who offer support, and a difficulty in expressing vulnerability. This creates a wall around their hearts, preventing others from truly knowing and connecting with them. This excessive self-reliance can also lead to a distorted sense of reality. The Sigma, accustomed to tackling challenges alone, may underestimate the complexity of certain situations, believing they can handle anything without assistance. This can result in unnecessary hardship, missed opportunities, and a sense of isolation, even when surrounded by people who care. The key to overcoming this challenge lies in recognizing that true strength is not about doing everything alone, but about knowing when to ask for help and allowing oneself to be vulnerable with others. It's about understanding that interdependence is not a weakness, but a fundamental aspect of the human experience. The Sigma, in embracing vulnerability and connection, can unlock a deeper level of personal fulfillment and forge relationships that enrich their lives. The Sigma male is often shrouded in an aura of mystery. They are private individuals, guarded about their thoughts, feelings, and motivations. This secretive nature stems from their desire for control and autonomy, their need to maintain a sense of distance from the prying eyes of the world. They carefully curate the information they share, revealing only what they deem necessary, leaving others to speculate about their true nature. This veil of secrecy can create a sense of intrigue, drawing others in, but it can also breed suspicion and mistrust. Those who seek to connect with the Sigma male often find themselves navigating a labyrinth of hidden truths and unspoken emotions, unsure of where they stand or what lies beneath the surface. This can lead to misunderstandings, misinterpretations, and a sense of frustration for both parties. The Sigma's secretive nature can also be a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from potential harm. They believe that by concealing their true selves, they can avoid judgment, manipulation, and emotional entanglement. This creates a barrier to intimacy, preventing them from forming deep, meaningful connections with others. The challenge for the Sigma male is to find a balance between their need for privacy and the importance of transparency in building trust and intimacy. It's about recognizing that vulnerability, while risky, is essential for genuine connection. By gradually lowering their defenses, revealing their true selves in a safe and supportive environment, the Sigma male can break free from the confines of secrecy and forge relationships built on authenticity and trust. The Sigma male, with his self-sufficiency and aloof demeanor, can sometimes exhibit an air of arrogance. This isn't necessarily born out of malice or a sense of superiority, but rather a byproduct of their unwavering self-belief and unconventional worldview. Having forged their own path and achieved success on their own terms, they may develop a sense of detachment from the conventional measures of worth and accomplishment. This arrogance can manifest as a quiet confidence, a sense of being above the fray of social posturing and competition. They may dismiss the opinions of others, believing their own judgment to be superior. This can create friction in social interactions, as their aloofness and self-assuredness can be perceived as condescending or dismissive. The danger lies in the potential for this arrogance to become a self-imposed barrier to growth and connection. The Sigma, convinced of his own rightness, may become resistant to feedback, unwilling to acknowledge his own flaws or learn from others. This can lead to stagnation, missed opportunities, and a gradual erosion of relationships, as others tire of their unwillingness to engage on an equal footing. The key to overcoming this challenge lies in cultivating humility, recognizing that true strength lies not in unwavering self-belief, but in the willingness to question one's own assumptions and learn from others. It's about embracing the possibility of being wrong, of seeing value in diverse perspectives, and recognizing that growth comes from a willingness to be challenged and to adapt. The Sigma, in embracing humility, can temper their arrogance and forge deeper, more meaningful connections with those around them. Chapter 7. The Path Less Traveled. The Sigma male is characterized by his unconventional thinking, his willingness to question established norms and forge his own path. This independent mindset is a source of strength, allowing him to see the world from a unique perspective and challenge the status quo. However, this unconventionality can also lead to conflicts, especially in traditional settings where conformity and adherence to established hierarchies are prized. The Sigma's disdain for blind obedience and his tendency to question authority can be perceived as disruptive or even disrespectful. They may challenge rules, procedures, and traditions not out of a desire to rebel, but rather from a genuine belief that there's a better, more efficient, or more ethical way of doing things. This can create tension in workplaces, social groups, and even families, as their unconventional approach clashes with the expectations of others. This unconventional thinking can also lead to social isolation, as the Sigma male may find it difficult to relate to those who prioritize conformity and tradition. They may feel misunderstood, alienated, and frustrated by the perceived rigidity of the world around them. This can lead to a sense of loneliness and a reluctance to fully engage in social situations where they feel their perspectives are not valued. The challenge for the Sigma male is to find a way to express their unconventional thinking in a way that is both authentic and constructive. It's about choosing their battles wisely, knowing when to challenge the status quo and when to adapt to the prevailing norms. It's also about finding communities and individuals who appreciate their unique perspective and are open to exploring new ideas and approaches. By finding a balance between their independent spirit and the need for social harmony, the Sigma male can navigate the world with both authenticity and grace. Chapter 8. The Rebellious Spirit. The Sigma male possesses an inherent disdain for authority. They are not easily swayed by titles, positions, or social hierarchies. This rebellious spirit stems from their independent nature, their need to forge their own path and make their own judgments. They value personal freedom and autonomy above all else, and they are unwilling to blindly follow dictates they deem illogical or unjust. This disdain for authority can be a source of strength, allowing them to challenge oppressive systems and stand up for what they believe in. However, it can also lead to conflicts with those in positions of power, creating tension in workplaces, social groups, and even personal relationships. Their unwillingness to conform to established hierarchies can be perceived as insubordination, disrespect, or even a threat to the established order. This rebellious spirit can also manifest as a resistance to social pressures and expectations. The Sigma male may reject societal norms and expectations, choosing to live life on their own terms. This can lead to social isolation, as they may be perceived as outsiders or rebels who do not fit in with the mainstream. However, it can also be a source of creativity and innovation, as their unconventional approach allows them to see the world from a different perspective and come up with new ideas. The challenge for the Sigma male is to find a way to channel their rebellious spirit in a way that is both constructive and impactful. It's about choosing their battles wisely, knowing when to challenge authority and when to work within the system to effect change. It's also about finding communities and individuals who share their independent spirit and are open to challenging the status quo. By finding a balance between their rebellious nature and the need for social harmony, the Sigma male can be a force for positive change in the world. Chapter 9. The Razor's Edge of Criticism. The Sigma male, with his keen intellect and penchant for observation, often possesses a sharp, critical mind. This critical nature stems from their desire to understand the world around them, to analyze situations, and identify areas for improvement. However, their criticism, while often insightful, can sometimes be overly harsh, lacking the tact and empathy needed to convey their observations without causing offense. Their direct, unfiltered approach to feedback can be perceived as abrasive, even hurtful, particularly by those who are sensitive to criticism. They may struggle to understand why others react negatively to their observations, believing they are simply stating facts or offering helpful advice. This can lead to misunderstandings, strained relationships, and a reputation for being insensitive or even cruel. This critical nature can also be directed inward, leading to a cycle of self-criticism and perfectionism. The Sigma male, holding himself to impossibly high standards, may become his own harshest critic, constantly finding fault with his own actions and accomplishments. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and a reluctance to take risks or pursue new opportunities. The key to navigating this challenge lies in cultivating compassion, both for oneself and others. It's about learning to temper criticism with empathy, to understand the emotional impact of their words, and to frame their observations in a way that is both honest and constructive. It's also about practicing self-compassion, recognizing that everyone makes mistakes, and that striving for perfection is an unattainable and ultimately self-defeating goal. Chapter 10. The Solitude of the Lone Wolf. The Sigma male, comfortable in his own company, often embraces the lone wolf persona. This archetype, romanticized in popular culture, emphasizes self-reliance, independence, and a certain mystique that comes with walking a path apart from the crowd. However, this lone wolf persona, while appealing in its stoicism and self-sufficiency, can also lead to a profound sense of loneliness and emotional disconnect. The Sigma, in his pursuit of autonomy, may isolate himself from meaningful connections, believing that true strength lies in solitude. This can lead to a diminished capacity for intimacy, a fear of vulnerability, and a reluctance to let others into their inner world. Over time, this isolation can take a toll on their emotional well-being, leading to feelings of emptiness, alienation, and a sense of being fundamentally misunderstood. This lone wolf persona can also become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The Sigma, convinced of his solitary nature, may unconsciously push others away, reinforcing their belief that they are destined to walk a path alone. This can create a cycle of isolation, where their fear of connection prevents them from experiencing the joy and fulfillment that comes from meaningful relationships. The key to breaking free from this self-imposed solitude lies in recognizing that true strength comes not from isolation but from the courage to connect with others, to embrace vulnerability, and to allow oneself to be seen and understood. It's about recognizing that interdependence is not a sign of weakness but rather a fundamental aspect of the human experience. The Sigma, in shedding the lone wolf persona, can unlock a deeper level of personal fulfillment and forge relationships that enrich their lives in profound ways. The Sigma male, with his complex and often contradictory nature, is a figure both intriguing and perplexing. Understanding the darker aspects of his personality, the traits that lurk in the shadows, is not about condemnation, but about fostering empathy and understanding. These traits are not inherent flaws, but rather challenges to be overcome, opportunities for growth and self-discovery. The Sigma, like all of us, is capable of evolving, of integrating his shadow self, and embracing the fullness of his humanity. Understanding these traits can help in personal growth and better social interactions. As we journey through the depths of the Sigma male's psyche, we uncover the layers that make him who he is. This exploration is not just about understanding the Sigma, but also about reflecting on our own shadows and strengths. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the Sigma Odyssey YouTube channel. Join our community as we continue to unravel the mysteries of the human mind and explore the path less traveled. Your support helps us create more content that inspires and enlightens. Thank you for watching. Until next time, embrace your shadow and continue your journey of self-discovery. Subscribe now and become a part of the Sigma Odyssey.